feel like a newscaster, you know, when you see them at the beginning of news report and they're shuffling their papers and getting ready and they go, oh, camera action. Okay. Hi, my name is Maria and welcome to my channel MH Books, and this morning I am going to close my window. My windows are closed, it's just noisy traffic. Hi, my name is Maria and welcome to my channel MH Books, and today I'm eventually getting to Eric Karl Anderson's The Lonesome Reader's 40th birthday book tag. I was tagged in this by Sean the Book Maniac, who has been very kind to a new booktuber and has given me a tremendous shout out, which may appear in a future video because it was amazing. But today's not about us, it's about Eric. So Eric is, most people will know, is writes the Lonesome Reader blog and films Lonesome Reader's YouTube channel. I'm going to have to drink my coffee. It's been a crazy morning. I had to drive someone to the hospital because they think they might have broken their arm. So, it definitely hurt anyway. So, we're going to get on with the prompts. I was tagged by Sean. I would like to start by saying too that I have not listened to anybody but Sean's versions of this tag, so I couldn't get accidentally copy somebody. So this is all my own work. And we're going to start with the first prompt. So the first prompt raised more difficulty than I think I thought I would have. It's called Thanks a Bunch. I'll read. I am a newscaster. But I need a teleprompt, don't I? Where's my teleprompt? Thanks a Bunch. A book you first heard from Eric's channel blog, or that you both love. Right. There were just too many. And I found it really hard to narrow down. And so I picked the first ones I came across on the bookshelf that I remembered I'd either seen or once, in one case, I think I actually read it on his blog. I don't read his blog very often, so that was actually a rarity. The first one was in, I believe, a video where he did the, I think it was the first time I seen it, was in a video where he did the International Booker's Prize, and he was claiming not to have much expertise in it, but he was interested in reading it. And as usual, you know, this is contagious, interest in read some more. So one of the books I picked up and have read now for Women in Translation as a result of that blog was Jenny Erpenbeck's Go Went Gone, or Gehen Ging Gegangen. It's translated from German, about illegal refugees in about 2013-2014 in Berlin, obviously based on true stories from the back. I haven't wrapped this up yet. I'm still deciding how I'm going to wrap up books. I will have to film this soon, so it'll have to be out soon. So I don't follow rules, so my wrap-ups will probably never be the end of the month, because, you know, that would be sticking to tradition. It doesn't seem very Maria-like. Alright, the other one is The Seal Woman's Gift by Sally Magnuson. I think I've seen this on somebody else's channel too, and I can't for the life of me remember. I got it on audio originally. It's about Icelanders who are, about 400 of them. It's based on a true story where they were abducted by Barbary pirates and brought to Algiers. If that's the wrong country, I'll tell you in the show notes, or actually down below I'll put on screen. 17th century. It's based on a true story. They know an awful lot what happened to the men. Sally was interested on what would have happened to one of the characters in particular, the vicar's wife, because seemingly in the historical records he does go looking for her. So it's a bit of a love story. It's a bit of a clash of cultures, from Icelanders to a Muslim faith, from nice Christians to a Muslim faith in our country. Some Arabian Nights there, lots of storytelling based on the Icelandic legends, and overall a good yarn. Okay, so the next prompt is looking for a book you want to read because it's Eric's channel vlog. So the same video for the translated fiction, I think, is the one. I have actually put down links. If they don't work, tell me and I'll redo the links. For where I think I've seen it for the first time. When you see so much YouTube, it's hard to tell sometimes where's the first time you've seen it. So Frankenstein in Baghdad, also read by quite a few people. It was on the one where he was interested. I don't even know if you've read this, Eric. I wanted to read it too because I also wanted to reread Frankenstein, but I wanted to reread Frankenstein because Frankenstein was in the Abbey Theatre in Dublin about 2 weeks ago, and I missed the production because I hadn't read the book and I wouldn't let myself go, and then so I had to read Frankenstein to read this. If I didn't make up such ridiculous rules for myself, my life would be so much easier. The second one that I picked up is a very easy sell for me. It's Problems. It's a Trump Press, which is an independent publisher they do always have an X in the book. That's what the X, I'm showing you the X for. It's a Trump Press book, which is an independent publisher in Ireland. I love the way the books that they produce out. You've probably seen, you probably know Sarah Baum's books, but probably from the other publisher, because I believe they have a problem getting their authors listed for the Booker because of the new rules or something like that. So their authors that are good or then become published in or good who prize. I think it's a man Booker who could get nominated for the prize, end up getting published in another publisher, a UK publisher, so they complete, they're within the rules and they can compete, and they do particularly well in this. This book is by American Jade Shade. I'm reading it backwards and I put the two things together. So Jade Sharma. Problems. It's particularly bleak as a novel, I believe. It deals with a woman's sexuality in a very gritty and not always nice way, and her drug addiction. But it's highly recommended by anybody who's a reading her at the moment, and I believe it was Eric's channel, the Lonesome Reader, that I first seen it. The next prompt is a book. It's Turn the Table. A book or books, all the everything should be in the show notes below that, so if you want to do this tag you can. So a book or books you recommend for Eric to read. Actually it is books. This came up in a tweet. I filmed this last night, and I said last night, I said yesterday, today I had to say 2 days ago. Last night, I might put one of the bloopers from last night on. I had a issue with I was using lighting to first time I was using artificial lighting, and I had a really shiny nose and I couldn't edit it. And then I refilmed it, and then I ran out of battery. But in between that, there was a few blooper things. I probably show you one at the end, because I eventually started to play with the camera because it just became silly. So yeah, Philip Pullman's Book of Dust, on a tweet by, let you have time to see it. I mean, I just assume everybody knows this book. He got it about 2 days ago now, and he wanted to know on Twitter whether he should read this before reading the Dark Materials. Okay, consensus, I agree with, absolutely 100%. You have to read this, Eric, first. You have to read this first. Don't touch the Belle Sauvage. La Belle Sauvage. My French accent is horrendous. Before you've read this, because this is better. I like the beginning of this. I know a lot of people find the beginning hard and they find it hard to get into it. I found that. I picked this up immediately. I remember reading it when I was traveling in Scotland and reading it in pubs, and barmen saying, "Are you ever going to get out of that book?" You know. So I'm not a fan of the ending. So a lot of people love The Subtle Life. I'm not a fan of that book. So, but you have to read it before you read La Belle Sauvage. The next prompt is, Oh, I was nearly skipped one. Expatriate Love, a book by and or about an American living in the UK or vice versa, to try and make it easy. This was particularly difficult because all I could think of, I just got completely stuck on all these books about Irish people and Irish people living in America, like Come to Beans, Brooklyn, or Anne Enfield's The Green Road, where she does a particularly poignant story, but one of her characters goes over to New York in the middle of the AIDS crisis, and the character's not the nice guy, it's the Americans who are the nice people in that bit. Couldn't, you know, and when you get blocked, it takes a long time to undo that block, and eventually I remember that Arthur Conan Doyle was very bad about he's American, so I'm on look at my iPad because this book is going to be on, if I can remember my code, it's going to be on my Audible, and I forgot to set this up before the video. So yeah, so Arthur Conan Doyle, horrendous, you know what I mean? He really didn't like Americans. You could tell in the books when an American appears in that. But that reminded me that Anthony Horowitz, I don't know how his name is pronounced. I'm not sure I've ever heard it pronounced. Seen lots of the books in the shops. But he wrote a book, Moriarty, okay? And in it, there's a detective from the Pinkerton Agency, working with a fellow policeman from Scotland Yard. So don't tell me it's cute. I don't actually need to play Moriarty.
Written by Anthony Horowitz and
Horowitz. There you go. That was convenient. Oh, I'm so clever. Didn't even mean to do that. So oops. Okay. Add note. Okay, save. All right. I am not going to edit this. It's not as bad as last night, so it's okay. So you can see me, you can see all the background. You can see yourself, look at you, and you can look at me. Look at me, look at you. Okay, sorry. Moriarty, Anthony Horowitz, he has a detective from the Pinkerton Agent, a policeman from Scotland Yard. Sherlock Holmes is supposed to be dead at this point, and they're both working on a case together, and I can't say more than that because the rest is a spoiler. It's about the ending. It's one of those books about the ending. Okay, 6. Oh, I did skip one. I skipped number 4. Sorry, I was wondering because I thought I had the books in order. But 3 names, because we have Eric Karl Anderson, which is incredibly difficult for me to remember for some reason. I remember Eric, and I remember Lonesome Reader, but Karl and Anderson was just being blocked from my name last night. So we have a book by an author with 3 names. The wonderful Imogen, Hermes, Gowar. I have yet to read it. It is. I have left a link to where it appears on Eric's blog. Everybody look, it is. This is just. I mean, I bought this in the local bookshop. So, and the local bookshop sells these books at a discount when they're new releases. Full price when they're a little bit older. So this would be full price now. It's just you can catch the light on the diamonds. It's just gorgeous. Everybody knows. I mean, it's probably not as nice as the hardback that everybody had, but still pretty impressive for a paperback. 18th century, sorry, I have a thing about books and book covers. 18th century, ship captain swaps his owner's boat for a mermaid. There's a courtesan or a prostitute in this, and it's a romp. So this is going to be a book that I'm just gonna read when I just need escapism, I think. I'm pretty sure. So check out his blog post. I won't check it out until I've read the book, sorry, so I can't tell you whether he liked it or not. Okay, Meta, a book of a novelist, writer's protagonist. On Thursday night, Hodges Figgis, which is owned by Waterstones. So those, It hasn't changed since it was owned by Waterstones. I keep saying it's secretly owned by Waterstones because when Waterstones closed down in Ireland, it was, oh my God, all the bookshops are going to be gone. There's only going to be Easton's and the Independents and Hodges Figures and blah, 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 blah. And it was a big deal. And then I go in through Hodges Figures and I kind of go, why does it have Waterstones editions? Why does it have big W's behind its books? That's what Waterstones used to do. And that's the only way that you know the Waterstones own it. It has not changed at all. So if anybody's worried about funds changing, it won't change. But I can't tell you, I'm not going to comment on whether it's a good thing that Waterstones owns all the bookstores in the UK and now Ireland, except for the small independents. This one was at a book launch. Dermot Bolger, he's an Irish author from Finglas in Dublin, the north side of Dublin. He started off as a poet. He also printed books. He's just big in Irish literature that way. He's based this book on a woman he knew when he was about 18. She died at the age in her 90s, late 90s, I believe, in 2000. And it's based on her life because he's always inspired by how forward-thinking she was, how she was always positive. She always thought it was a great day. Every day was a great, exciting day. And she was very forward-thinking in her sexuality and all that kind of thing. Or forward-thinking about sexuality. I don't know what her sexuality was. He puts himself in this book for 3 or 4 pages. So this is a book in which the author appears. I haven't read it yet, obviously, because I got it 2 days ago. And it's not up in Goodreads yet, so it wasn't 2 days ago, so it's quite new. Alrighty, oh lordy lordy, a book about a 40-year-old. I should put these here so I don't look down. Then you don't see my double chin. See my double chin. Yeah. A book about a 40-year-old and or a book published 40 years ago. I took the easy way out for this because, like, you know, I couldn't remember any 40-year-old protagonists. So, I just realised my books are over on the couch, so I'm going to have to stand up in a second. 40 years ago was 1978. I know these are published in 1978 because I'm reading them in publication order, so I happen to know when the years are for the moment. So I'm just going to put in my favourite author, Stephen King. No idea if Eric likes that, but I like him, so good for me. Alright, this is the Handlebar Nun. I'm just going to stop you? No, I'll just leave you there. Hold on. Because I left those books over on my couch for some reason because I was looking for them and then I never put them on the table. Okay. Alright. So, Handlebar Nun. Okay, a book by or about someone with a fabulous moustache and or beard. I couldn't think of anything, so I went on a search in my bookshelves and then I found them. I obviously just left them on the couch. So I found one for both. Now, Stephen King, in his, we've already just had him, but he did have a good beard when he was, I think, first published. So he would have probably run about those books. He had a decent old tash and beard himself. So, an author with a beard and tash. So I just had to go through my male authors. Female authors, if they have beards and tashes, don't tend to put them on the book jackets. But here we have the first author I came across that had one, and that is Shawn Michaels. And that's his debut novel. I think it was published about 2013, 2014. But this is about the author, so I'll just read you a little bit about Shawn Michaels. So it's Montreal's Shawn Michaels is a writer, critic, and founder of the pioneer music blog. Said the Gramophone is the name of the music blog. Born in Stirling in Scotland in 1982, he has toured with rock bands, scoured Paris catacombs, and contributed to publications including Guardian, McSweeney's, Pitchfork, and Plan B. This book is about a musician who invents the, what's it, thereplane? What the hell do you call that thing? It's the thing from Star Trek, that the original Star Trek thing that makes music. You know, and it's in the air and it's the airwaves. It's what's the name of the bloody thing? Where is it? Is it on this? Yeah. It makes ethereal music, I know, yeah. Theremin. So yeah, it's an electrical instrument. People don't know it. They had it in Big Bang Theory as well. So yeah, he does that, and he's from the Soviet Union. He goes, it's set in the 1920s, 30, to America. He's supposed to be a spy on their behalf for the Soviet government, but he falls in love, I think, with somebody called Kara Gershwin. The music scene. So this is very strongly music based as a novel. So keeping that theme, but this time picking a character with a beard. I presume, I haven't read this yet, so the beard and tash is essential. And this guy is supposed to be good looking, so this is one good looking man. They call him Angelic, the King's Angel, because he's so good looking. But this is also, it's music and science, Rose Mermaid, also about music, and it's set in 1629. And what you're looking at, the picture there, is the English lutenist named Peter Clare arrives in the Danish court to join the King Christian IV's Royal Orchestra. From the moment he realises that musicians perform in freezing cellar underneath the royal apartments, Peter Clare understands that he's come to a place where the opposing states of light and dark, good and evil, are waging war to the death. So, 2 music theme books with beards. Is that right? So I might read them together at some time, because that does seem like it could, and I might do a reread of Madeline Thing's Do Not Say We Have Nothing as well, which is a book that Eric liked as well. So there we go. Out Brief Candle, a book about a birthday. So the 2 of the books I'm reading are nearly finished. I haven't quite finished at the moment. One left over from Wits and Translation, the other one left over from Thriller-a-thon. God, that's an attractive angle, Maria. The first book, Anne Frank's Diary, which was the non-novel category, opens up with a line. On Friday the 12th of June, I woke up at 6 o'clock, and no wonder, it was my birthday. And she gets the journal for her birthday that she writes her diary in, so for this piece. And this copy has gotten so battered. It's been travelling around a lot. The Moonstone is about a birthday present of a famous diamond. Oh my god, this is going on for like 22 minutes and 48 seconds. Famous diamond, and goes missing. So it's a birthday present, and it goes missing. So the detective story, which is one of the first detective stories, is defined. So that's Wilkie Collins' The Moonstone. Okay, many happy returns. Tag some buddies. I'm going to tag anybody who actually watches his channel who wants to do this, because they definitely should. And we'd just like to say happy birthday, Eric. And I hope whatever everybody is reading, they're enjoying it, whether it's their birthday or not. Until next time. Bye-bye.